I'm going to kind of go over what we're doing that's working from to get client strength in the 3-pack, right? There has to be a certain formula. There's like a million things you can do these days, but you obviously just want to keep it as simple as possible and do what works, right? So there's a certain formula that we've figured out that gets it done. And some of these might be common sense, but you'd be surprised. Some of them, aren't so common sense. So just make sure as we go through this, take notes or anything, and make sure you've got all these crossed off your list and that you're doing them correctly. And and the first thing is to make sure you claim and then optimize your listing. I talked to a company not long ago. They weren't, and it's not bad, right? If you don't know about this, then you don't know about it. But some companies aren't even sure if they have a Google My Business listing set up. They don't know if it's been verified or not. They said, yeah, I think some other company might have set this up in the past, but they don't have access to it. So it's really important just to make sure, and that's why I put on here, to even have your login information. A lot of people will say, yeah, I have one, but I don't know who's controlling it. So I recommend that and if the company you're working with is controlling it, that's fine, but they can add you as a user, right? That way you always have access to your own Google My Business listing. So just make sure you have that username and password saved somewhere. It's extremely important these days, and that seems to be a little nitpicky thing, but a lot of times actually just getting the login information and access from the owners can be difficult just because it's not on hand, right? And get it, everybody's busy, and there's this person's doing that, this person's doing that, but make sure you just get the login, and make sure, I mentioned this too, make sure your company name, read your company name like how it should be, and then how it's going to be across the web. Like if it's going to be Bob's Restoration, don't put Bob's Restoration LLC in there, right? You want it consistent, what your name is. Don't try to add in like Bob's Restoration / mold removal, right? Like Google's picking up on that, and it's not helping as it used to, 6 months ago or something. Make sure your website address is in your Google My Business listing. And because some people click the Google My Business listing, then they want to go straight to your website. Well, if you don't have your website in there, they're going to hit back, and then they're going to move on to the next person, right? You got to make it as easy for the end user as possible. So make sure your website address is in there. Make sure your profile is completely filled out. If you can, use a local number relevant to your location, right? Remember, all this is location based, and even this is even like if it's a 1-800, if it's a tracking number, that's 800 number, fine, right? Like you can actually put in local numbers and tracking numbers. But if you can, just use a local number. Have a local address. Don't, like I said, don't go to the PO box or a UPS store. Use your actual, where your trucks are. If you're a smaller company and you don't have a warehouse with equipment and trucks and all that yet, fine. But just whatever your business address is, use that address. When you're verifying your Google My Business listing. Now, this is something that's overlooked a lot. I've noticed is photos. You want to put as many as possible on here. And again, people are actually, for whatever reason, people love looking through the Google My Business photos, and put some personal photos in there, right? Like if you on a job site, pictures of your team, pictures of the office, maybe some of your trucks at a job site, logo, if you offer any coupons or anything like that. Something I've seen that's pretty awesome. You can even do like maybe a little before and after photo, right? Like if you're removing some mold from a wall, for example, you could do before we got to the job and then after we got to the job, right? Like it looked terrible. Now once we're done removing the mold, the home looks brand new. Happy client. So anytime you get any cool photos of yourself, your team, any jobs in progress, you can even do just timelines, right? Like before demo, and if you do the rebuilds, you can after the rebuild. So just keep and keep adding. You don't have to do this every day, right? But as much as you can, if you get any cool photos, add the photos to your listing. And then make sure your hours of operation are listed, and then your services are listed as well. because Google, not all of you guys might do fire damage, but there's actually a fire damage category in Google My Business and a water damage restoration. There's not a separate mold remediation category or anything right now. So all that falls under the water damage restoration. But if you do fire damage restoration, then you want to make sure you have that listed as one of your categories in Google My Business. Then that way, if somebody's searching fire damage near me, Google will be able to scan your profile and see that, oh, okay, this guy does fire damage restoration as well. So you're more likely to show up in a 3-pack for fire damages, as well as water damage stuff. Hope you got value out of that video. If you're looking for more ideas and strategies for better ways to market your water, mold, or fire damage restoration business online, you can go to restorationmarketinggroup.com, and there we have a free checklist you can download. It's called the Ultimate Online Marketing Guide for Damage Restoration Contractors. And there you'll be able to get the latest strategies that are working now to really increase your lead flow online. You could probably even 5 to 10x the number of leads you're getting per month from internet marketing. So there should be a link below, restorationmarketinggroup.com, and there you can download the checklist for free of charge, and we'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks.